So, good morning, all of you, dear participant. Let us start our one-day free workshop on developing leadership skills. This workshop is organized by Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization. I am Dr. Mrs. Mangal Dhain, founder and secretary of Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization. If you are interested to organize such a free workshops for your institute or for your community industry, you can contact on this phone number and mail ID. So, very warm welcome to all of you in this workshop. Now, first, I would like to tell about Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization in brief. So, Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization is a NGO, and its motto is ecstasy for body, mind, soul, spirit. It's a registered society and trust of humanitarian activities for social welfare, holistic, and spiritual development. I have founded this institute myself because I have passion of molding spirituality into higher education. Basically, I am an engineering college teacher, but for my passion to satisfy, I have founded this NGO. So this is about the Vihangam Technoholistic Organization, and every my workshop, even if it will be technically, it will be framed and designed for body, mind, soul, spirit level. So we are going to see in last session how we can involve heart also in this our learning process. So some little meditation also I would like to tell. So aims and objectives of Vihangam Techno Holistic Organizations are, you know, that spirituality, religious coping, religious belief are better predictors of happiness and quality of life. In today's era, you can see we are more and more driving towards meditation and spirituality because it's the need of time also. So Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization is established with this aim only to foster ancient knowledge, culture, science, values, and advanced technology to build mentally, physically superpowered, vigorous, bright, talented, blissful human beings. Because I have 30 years of experience as an engineering college teacher, and I have found that if we will blend some advanced technology with some ancient technology, with some spiritual techniques, then our success rates increases tremendously. We should not just have blind beliefs on the ancient science or spiritual science, and also blind means you can just say beliefs on the only technology. Only technology cannot be useful, so we have to blend some things. So this is main objective of Vihangam Techno Holistic Organization. There are 7 units design. Out of that, just I have initiated first two centers. First center is Jnanam for 11 dimensions, different aspects. Means in last month I took for ancient and spiritual techniques. So 11 dimensions means you might not have heard some techniques also. So that is Dhyanam, means to give the knowledge. So it is just first center is the center of holistic development, curriculum enrichment and education. And this center is specially designed for institute. So we can say that it is an institute of the institutes. So mainly it will focus on training students, teaching staff, non-teaching staffs, administrators and management members also. So today's workshop is basically for the, we can say students also, teachers also, but this important element is also there in today's workshop. So then this Jnanam unit is for holistic and curriculum development. So mainly I have focused some aspects for holistic development of educational elements, teachers, students, and non-teaching staff. So it is some examples that yoga, neuro-linguistic programming, health, then self-learning skills, then development, personality development, soft skill development. So project-based learning, environmental values, collaborative learning. So different holistic approach is my intention. So different lifelong learning skills also. Second unit is Seventh Heaven Center for Human Development, where all other aspects, ancients and spirituality, will be considered to train all groups of peoples. So there are also in second unit also there are 7 units. So depending upon the age. Now let us see about the workshop. So this workshop is scheduled in the three parts: cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, and affirmative domain. So cognitive domain, we just have the knowledge. I don't know about the leadership skills. So what skills are required? What qualities are required? So let us know about what is leadership first, basically, because leadership is always misunderstood. So what is leadership first? So to know that. So first session is purely cognitive domain. Here I will just transfer the knowledge, and then you can just see first session is from 11 to 12:30, and 12:30 to 1 p.m. is lunch break. Even if I am saying it is lunch break, it is just coming up to the level of the coverage. So something, if it is missed from you for the assignments or reflections, you have to complete that means simultaneously you can do along with taking lunch. Then second session, afternoon session, is psychomotor domain. So unless and until we don't involve our hand and head in the learning process, there is no use of attending any workshop or any FDPs. So whatever we are learning, whatever we are hearing, we have to implement that. So always I focus on implementation aspects. So blankly don't attend this workshop. Attend this workshop for your own development. So second session will be on assessing your own qualities. So from 1 to 3 p.m., we will focus on assessing our own personalities and leadership styles. Personality, we must know what is my personality. Then I will go towards the leading the others. I must lead myself first. So I must know my personality. Then only question comes to lead others and lead society. So we will assess our own personality and leadership styles in the afternoon sessions. But before that, you have to understand all these concepts, and then only we will implement it to assess our values or qualities. Then last session is based on affirmative domain, because okay, heart is there. Heart, we have to involve in our learning process, because heart's power is so many times 5,000, 10,000 times than that of brain. If we will just go on using our brain or head in learning, that will be very less outcome will be there. But when we involve our heart, we pour our feelings and sensations and all other sensitive organs, then learning enhances too much. So how to involve our heart, how to work on our own interest. So that will be third session. So it is designed for improving ourselves. Okay, you are attending this workshop, you are just listening myself, you are not implementing, you are not just getting benefit, you are not acting. Action is also important. So third session is on the action. Here you will assess yourself, and here you will make an action plan. Which quality you want to improve, where are the skills required, what is the value of that skills, whether I have strong skills or weak skills, that you will make an action plan for your improvement. So to make an action plan, you must know where you are weak and where you are strong. And then that will be in the your goal setting and coaching and action plan, because goal setting, coaching, and action plan is the top most quality of a leader. So in this workshop, I have taken first topmost quality with respect to my own experience of 30 years, because I was there 12 years as a head of department, and I used different techniques. Out of this, I found these techniques are very important. There is a coaching leadership is also there, visionary leadership is also there. So afternoon session is based on that. So I hope that you will make your goal setting process in the leadership development very clearly. You will know how to coach ourselves and how to coach others also, and you will make a strong action plan. And from afternoon or from evening, you will start implementing it. So then only the outcome of this workshop will be there. So about the speaker, I would like to tell about myself. So I have educational qualifications. I have done PhD in electrical engineering. After PhD, I just fellow leadership course from USA. I have done ME Power System from COEP Pune. Basically, my graduation is electrical engineering. First, I did diploma in electrical engineering. After diploma, I just did postgraduate diploma. After graduation, I did postgraduate diploma, advanced computer system, software analysis and applications. And now also I completed certified professional and peer coacher course from USA. So if you see, after 12 standards, I have just 14 years of educational experience, and still I am learning. So professional experience of teaching UG, PG engineering is 30 years. I have 28 plus awards on my credits. Out of that, International Alpha in 2019 only, I had received about 12.5 lakh fellowships to go USA. USA has selected me for leading the leaders program to just build the peace, development, progress in Asia Pacific regions. Then research, I have also international award. Research publications, I have awards. My social works also, I have award. Then international countries, I have visited 5: USA, UK, Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore for professional work. Funding up till now, I have received 17 lakh. I have 59 publications on my head. Out of that, 2 patents, 25 journal papers. And these journal papers are basically on the engineering, on my research area, as well as education technology, because it is my interest to just have research in the educational technology also. Pedagogy, specifically, I like pedagogy and conducting workshop. So I have conducted up till now many FDPs and workshop for Engineering Institute. This time I am opening for all community. So 27 I have conducted, I have just was the speaker in this workshop. Resource persons in conference and various webinars, expert lectures are 60. Then honors up till now I have received 38, and almost majority are on international levels, because right now also I am working as a IEEE Smart Grid Education Committee member, IEEE Smart City Committee member, IEEE Education Committee member. Yesterday only I attended 2 meetings. So if you'll see, my international contributions is major. I just focus on international contributions, because working in the local and working in the international level is a very different things are there. So I just focus. I will tell you the reasons. Then FDP workshop are organized and conducted are 26. I have attended 110 workshops and FDPs until now. Since last month, 1.5 months, continuously I'm attending FDPs of ATOL, NITTR, and this is a development. If you will not attend and if you will not implement, you will not develop. Whatever I attend, I just start implementing from that day only. So just this is not only attendance figure. I have implemented various workshop. What I learned, I just implement. Membership of professional bodies, I am a senior member of IEEE Education Society, Industrial Application Society. I am professional associate of East West Center, USA. I am life member of International Association of Engineers, member of International Association of Online Engineering, and life member of Indian Society of Technical Education. So let us start our first workshop, first part of the workshop, which is on cognitive domain, knowing about the leadership. I request all of you to open the workbook which I have given you in the chat box. Link is there. You open the workbook, you save that copy on your PC, you work in that workbook. You have a pen, you have a pages, and start noting down whatever I'm going to tell you. You just think, where are you, whether you have that skill, whether you have that quality. If you want to improve, just make a note, because last session is on making goal setting and the action planning. So you have to note down what you want to improve yourself, so that simultaneously you'll do. So let us see what is the content of the first part. Just now I'm talking about the contents, then we will just see what is the objectives of workshop, because if I will tell you objectives of workshop, then I think outcome will be more. Then we will see what will be your outcome, learning outcomes. Then I will introduce what is leadership, what it is, why, and whom to lead. whom to lead is very important. Then we'll see top skills of leadership, top qualities. See, everybody, you can say skills will be analyzed differently, rankings will be given differently, and ranking change, time to time ranking change. Now we have entered in industry 4 revolutions, so there is a drastic move in the skills required. That was not earlier before 2020. Mind you, after 2020, new era has started, and the skills chronological orders demand are have totally changing. That I would like to tell you what is coming next after 2025. Then you just see what is the surrounding situations, corona, covid, and we are now using online technology. So totally there is a drastic change in the skills and qualities. So let us see that. Then I will just tell you types of leadership. Here I just have stated these are types of leadership. I would like to have individual workshop on that types of leadership, so I have inserted that different single separate workshop can be collected on that types of leadership. And then leadership styles. Now whatever style I am mentioning, somebody can say that skill, or whatever type I am saying, somebody can say skill. So everybody has his or her own perceptions. According to that, everything changes. So what is the objectives of this workshop? I am conducting this workshop only for me, for my self joy and for my well-being. So totally my own interest is there, nobody is telling me and nothing, just my, I am feeling joy and just I feel in the flow. So feeling in the flow is very important. If you will feel in the flow means a very higher state of joy, then definitely everything about us starts changing. Development, progress starts changing. We have to remain in joyful condition. And to remain in the joyful conditions, we have to be in the action, always doing something. So Saturday I'm having holiday, so I am utilizing it. So that is my interest. And then also, of course, not only my own interest is there, but I would like to cultivate the persons or leaders, whoever are interested, motivated, and capable of creating positive impact. Why EWCSA called me and just invested 12.5 lakhs in me? Because they believed that I can use this training for the society. I have the potential to lead the society. That's why they call me. So what I have thought, just whatever they did, I have to do that. So it is just as an alumni of EWC also. So just they believed me that I will be a very top leader or I will lead the leaders. So I must do that. It's also for stimulating individual and overall growth and foster self-leadership for emerging and established leaders. Means this is not only for persons who don't know about the leaders, but this is for established leaders also, because everybody's perception is different. I have my own experience where it worked. My leadership was very popular. My outcome was very good. Growth rate of my department was very steep. So why not to use this knowledge to give the peoples to try and just see whether there are changes or no. So my intention is to stimulate individual and leaders also for the establish leaders, then support the leaders for implementing learning, because learning is a continuous, that is endless process. So for supporting leaders learning, reflecting, and refining. Reflections and refining is very important. Like I told you, leadership skills are changing. Even if you are top leader, even if you are popular leader, even if you are good leader, that skills are changing. So it has to be adapted leadership, adaptive leadership. So we have to learn new things. We have to reflect on that, whether it will be useful or no. And then we have to refine it and make action plans. So that was the objective of workshop. Now, what is the learning outcome? I hope at the end of workshop, learners will be able to grasp essential leadership concepts. What is leadership? Concepts will be accurate. Then required qualities and the skills. Then learners will gain perceptives or to enhance personal and professional leadership skills. Personal leadership skill is also there. Professional leadership skills are also there. And to learn, reflect, refine, assess. This is very important objective. I hope that learners will able to reflect, because unless and until we don't set the goals of the refining and reflecting, then outcome is very less, and these are higher cognitive domain outcomes. So reflections and refinements is very essential. So that way the workshop is designed, so learners will learn, not only learn, they will reflect on their own skills, they will refine what to live and what to grasp, what to adopt. So relieving, releasing, reducing, and just enhancing, and just grasping and absorbing, and assessing their individual qualities and the skills. Learners will also decide what action is needed and avenues for acting to become a popular leader. So here I am giving you the opportunities. I think after attending this workshop, learners will get the opportunity to become a popular leader. So that was about the outcomes. Now let us have introduction about the leadership. So leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. So it is the action. It is not a position. Generally, we just consider leader means position. Leadership is a position. No, it is an action of leading. So lead means what? I will not be ahead of people. I will not be first. I will not be at the top level. But lead means I have to lead the other peoples. Means बाकी लोगों को खींचना है. Means this is the leading. Action is there. So misconceptions are there. So leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization, because it is not only for self, it is not personal, it is to take other peoples with you, take other peoples to come on the higher step of the leadership. So leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of individuals to guide. So unless and until you don't guide, unless and until you don't inspire, motivate, coach others, you cannot become leader. This is the highest quality. You note down the points. Are you coaching people? Are you guiding people? Are you motivating people? This is very important. So if you are doing this, you can become a popular leader. Leadership is the process of persuasion or example. You persuade others or put an example by doing all these things. Put an example by which an individual or leadership team induces a group to pursue objectives held by leader or shared by the leader and his own followers. Means suppose I am working in organization. So when I will be called as leader, when I am at the top level, I will be not called as leader. This leadership, that is a authority. Mind you, that is the authority if I am at the top level. When I will be leader, when I am leading my organization, whatever the objectives set by my boss, whatever the objectives set by my authority, I am taking other people's in the direction. I am taking other people's to satisfy that objectives which are set by my authority or the topmost levels. Then I will be called as leader. So there is a difference between boss and leader. There is a difference between management and the leadership. Leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. So that I told you. Now, what is the leadership? Leadership is action, not position. I told you it is action, not position. It is the action of leading a group of people for an organization or an organization. It is long-term focused goals. You can see this leadership with authority. It is not the correct concepts. It is the misconception. Leadership is not heroship. It is a collective, not an individual practice. Now, why leadership is important? Let it be, I don't know about the leadership. Why it is important? For developing our own leadership, it is important. I must know how to lead myself, at least. Forget I am not interested in leading others, but I must lead myself. So that I must know what is leading qualities. Invitational leadership, crisis leadership, emotionally intelligent leadership, adaptive leadership. Sometimes we are not interested in the leadership, but somebody invite us. So at that time, we must know how to lead. So invitational leadership, crisis leadership means even if I'm not interested in leading the things, but some crisis happens in our old life, something crisis happens. So how to come out from that crisis? It requires leadership. Emotionally intelligent leadership. Sometimes emotional feelings will allow or will make us to lead. Unless and until we don't lead, we cannot come out of that situation. So that for that emotional intelligent leadership, we have to know what is leadership and how to lead that. And adaptive leadership means changes are there. I told you we must adopt that changes. So we know how to adopt that changes. So learning to assess and assessing our own values. We have to see this leadership quality skills to assess our own skills, our own values, and need for change. So what is the need for change? For that we are sitting here, and value priority setting for our bright future. So today I hope you will set where you want to have the change and what will be the priority. So chronological order of 1, 2, 3 is also important for assessing our employers and employees leadership personality. Okay, I'm not interested in my own developing leadership, but I must know how to assess other people's for the leadership. Because suppose I'm sitting in higher position, then I must know who can lead, what, who can do the best work. So assessing employers and employees leadership personality for building professional relationship, positive work culture, overall personal and organizational outcome. I will say management has to know about this. For that, they have to undergo through this leadership process, learning, coaching, reflections. So if they are boss, if they are management, if they are administrators, they must know this. So just now I am telling you about the adaptations or change. If we'll see here, what will be the employee skills required 2025? Reskilling is 50%. So this is according to the World Economic Survey. So you can just refer details. I am just putting reference also below. So if you will take snap, you can just see that and you can get the details. Okay. So reskilling needs are 50% by the end of 2025, because this is new revolution is started. Now, according to the national education policy, because I am from academia, many are participants are from educational institutes. So national education policies 2020 of higher educations focus on this, and they have given topmost skills. Out of top 10 skills, I have taken this. So according to NEP 2020, they are saying educational institute has to educate for emotional quotient or emotional intelligence, then social quotient, community services, pedagogical training center has to be there. They have to impart leadership skills, educations and behavioral questions. So if you see, all these social aspects are important, because we are thriving into the new era where social relationship, social quotient is very important. That's why you can see that changes happening. Now knowledge is just getting available very free. YouTubes are there, technical knowledge are also getting very free, program coding, all the things are open up with a free of cost. So this is a social revolutions where knowledge is poured. So you can just see information technology, that was the previous area. This area, what is important? Our role has to be satisfied by ourselves. That is main focus. Because if you see now, our objective is not for just settlement in the life or just have bungalows on this. They have been installed by the parents. So today's youth is focused on some different aspects. So that aspects are just focusing on their mental well-being. So emotional quotient, social quotient, behavioral quotient, education is very important. Community services, because you are knowing that now we are moving from towards the golden era, and in golden area everybody has to have very high qualities. So by community services, everybody will be uplifted. And unless and until you don't have social work, if you don't contribute socially, you are not going to sustain. So in today's area, just going to the nature, connecting to the nature and connecting to the society, contributing to the society is highly important for sustenance. Then pedagogical training, yeah, has to be there in educational, higher educational institutes and leadership. So that's why we are here on the leadership. So they are saying that leadership skills has to offer by higher educational institute. Now, if you'll see top 10 employment skills, why we are just considering top 10 employment skills according to World Economic Forum are also just leadership and social influence. They are focusing analytical and thinking innovations, active learning strategies, complex solving, critical thinking. See, now these skills are coming top. Then creativity and originality, reasoning, problem solving, resilience, how you sustain, how you come up from your stress or some burden, what is your resilience, tolerance, flexibility. Technology design programming, technology uses, technology aspects are only two. Other aspects are skills and just social influence is also important. Leadership is important. So this is top 10 employment skills required for 2025. So we want to learn for this reason also, because many students are attending. Now, whom to lead is very important. You have to chalk down plan. Means first you have to lead yourself. Now here I have put some one sentences. You focus on that. And here is your action required. So just don't skip this part. So leading self. So to whom I want need to lead, you focus. Everybody's intention is different. Everybody's objective is different. Everybody's skill, stamina, capacity is different. So you have to focus on this question and make a note of this, to whom you want to lead, because in the afternoon session, in the last session, you have to make this action planning and see. If you will not complete the assignment, then don't expect certificates also. That is also I am telling you, this course is not only for the attendance and only for the organization's sake. It is just for getting some outcome. So if you will do assignments in a good way, means meaningfully, literally means to whatever you are interested, you are putting in your goal statements, and you are just putting 2 3 sentences for action planning, then it will be meaningful assignments. So to have meaningful assignments, you have to focus on these questions, make some notes of this, and then if you will do assignments in a good way, you will earn appreciation certificates also. These workshop certificates I will give only to those who will complete the assignments. If assignments are good, additional certificates will be there. So we have to learn leading self, because if we don't know how to lead ourselves, we cannot lead others, organization and society. So how to lead myself means I must overcome my drawbacks. I must overcome my poor qualities. I must strengthen my qualities. And if I'm not ready to attend one day workshop, means I'm not able to lead myself. If I'm not making goal plan, if I'm not making action plan, means I am not able to sit for 1 hour, sit for 2 hours and make a plan. So I'm not able to lead myself. And if I'm not able to lead myself, don't attend the workshop also. I will tell you, because I am observing many are just attending and not doing anything. And those who are doing, they are getting wonderful results. So last 2 months I am observing those who are working, they are getting wonderful results. So here I am expecting you attend this workshop. Even one participant will be there, I will continue. But you attend this workshop meaningful. So if you are here, you have to learn how to lead yourself. Means you fully pour your full up to 5 p.m. today and work on that. Even if you will not complete assignment today, tomorrow, I'll give that time. But you do that. So leading others, if you lead yourself, then you can lead others. Means other you have to take on your path. Like that today I'm sitting here to put yourself to my direction. So I'm leading others. Then leading organization. Now I am a founder and secretary of Vihangam. I have to lead that organization. So whatever are the Vihangam's objective, I have to have action plan of leading whole my 7 centers objective. So that is what the leading organization and leading society, like what I am doing here, community services, social services, and then only I can lead society, means other common peoples who are not from educational institute, who are not from industry, not technical peoples also, I have to lead. Then only I can say I am leading the society. Okay. So that way it is about the whom to lead. So see, personal well-being is very important. This is very heart of this workshop. To lead others, one must first lead oneself. I told you, even if today you are just sitting here to lead yourself, that's all, because you will go ahead again. So thus personal development and well-being are the core to leadership. Because I told you I am conducting this workshop for well-being or for my joy, because I want to remain in the flow. Flow means what? My joy, my peace. And when I will be in my peace, all overall development will happen naturally. So here, well-being, our own well-being is very important, and therefore personal development is very important. And when we focus on our personal development, naturally we'll lead everybody. So the workshop is designed to provide space for individual assessment and reflection, goal setting and action planning for leadership development to bring out overall outcome. So let us now discuss about the top leadership skills. Now, see, you have to focus on these questions, okay? And note down the points. So evaluate yourself. When I am talking any one skill, you evaluate yourself. And just see, ask yourself, am I leader? Suppose I am talking how to attend this workshop, I will tell you. Suppose strategic thinking is there, developing a vision of where you want to be. This is the topmost priority. See, vision, thinking, and planning. This is most top skills of a leader. If you will not set goals, if you will not make action plan, nothing is going to happen. So strategic thinking is very important. Call it. Developing a vision where you want to be, very important quality. You ask yourself whether I do strategic planning, where I have a vision, where I want to lead, because many wanted to attend this workshop, but many could not join the link also. So, wow, if you have just the dream, there is a difference between dream and vision. You have a dream to become popular leader, but you don't have vision. Vision means you must have the steps, clear steps, how you'll go to there. So by attending workshop, implementing workshop, you can just develop. So if I am taking and explaining this, you ask, am I a leader? Whether I define clear-cut goals and motivate my team. Goals and this means for this too, I told you that you have to ask for everything. And if you are not doing, just make a note of that on paper. Do I have that attitude or skills? How can I change? Think that, how you can change that. So leadership skills, strategic thinking is very important. Strategic means not only thinking, I want to be a higher position, more authority. This is dream, but when I'm thinking clear cut action plan, what will be my challenges, what will be obstacles, how I can remove that, then it is called as strategic thinking of the vision, clear picture of where you want to be and how you will reach there. So planning and delivery is important skill. Planning how to achieve your vision and dealing with challenges along the way. People management is also required there. Finding the right people and motivating them to work towards your vision. Because my own vision, I only will not be completing that. Others are important. Like that, I just want to just trigger the spark in the surrounding peoples to develop their leadership skills. I took a lot of efforts in 1 week. But if peoples are not ready to join workshop, peoples are not thinking how I will achieve the people's my objective. So I have to take some steps attracting peoples for that. So finding the right people also important. So I put the condition assignment. Many institutes, I tell you, you put the condition in the pamphlet only unless and until assignment will not be completed certificate. Even if few attendee will attend, let it be. They will be right. So finding the right people and motivating them to work towards your vision. This characteristic or skill is very important. Change management is very important. Recognizing, responding, and managing changes to your vision and plan. Suppose today I am making vision plan that Vihangam will be doing this action, this service, and that service. And according to some time period, that will be not required, so we have to make changes. Then recognize that changes and respond to how that changes on your vision and plans. So time to time changes are there. It is iterative process. So change management is required. So whatever your vision is there, whatever your goals are there, whatever action plan you will prepare, that is continuous iterative process. Changes are required. But here I have observed people don't spend 1 hour also for their plans. So how they will just go on changing this? So that is one aspect. Change management is required. Communication is required. Means it is not a communication skills that I must have good English or good professional language. No, communicating means persuading people with your words. That's all what I will tell you. So communication means working on the best ways to communicate your visions and others and listening ideas. Whatever I want to give message, that should be clear. Let it be in any language, let it be in any words, but that should be clear. Then persuasion and influence is very important for the leadership. So encouraging others to help you achieve your vision. So whatever is my vision, I am helping you to come to my vision by demonstrating its advantages. Suppose I am saying that this technique is very important. Consider coaching. I have observed my leadership style was coaching also. So coaching is a very important technique to become a leader. So if I can coach myself, coaching myself, everything starts from ourselves. If I can coach myself, I can excel a lot. That is my observation. If I can coach others, they can excel a lot to complete my vision. It is very important. So persuasion and influence means encouraging others to help you achieve your vision by demonstrating its advantage. So these are very important top skills as per my perception. Somebody's perception may be different. So we can just see the types of leadership skills: conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. And I will tell you today, this is very requirement is very less to become a leader. Means technical skills, I will say that they are not much important, but human skills are coming up and up. So focus now had changed on human skills than technical, and conceptual skills are in the moderate position. So top level management skills, middle level management skills, and lower level management skills. So if you see conceptual skills means you can just say formulating goals and objectives, build long terms and annual plan. So today we are working on this conceptual skills and middle management level. That is not required for low. Low level will not plan. If you are not making goal, if you are not planning a clear cut means critical planning and this, then you are at a lower level. If you are doing these goals and objectives being long term annual plan, every miss the 2021, this is my 10 steps, 2022, this is my 10 steps, then you are at middle level. Okay. Then you can see human literacy, communication, motivating others. Middle level, negotiation, resolving conflict, supervision. So I have considered here motivating others. Okay, so top management skill. Today we will focus how to do the coaching. Okay, and then technical skills, data literacy, technical expertise, able to solve technical problems. So that are about the different types of skills we can see. So here I am putting skills in different words. Now you will start working by opening the workbook. Okay. So here just try to understand workbook you have to open. I have posted link in the chat box. Open that workbook. Save the copy on your desktop and then start working on that. So here leading self. So what qualities are required? What skills are required for leading self? Agency, curiosity, humility. Try to understand the word. What is agency? What is humility? What is curiosity? And this is very, very important. If you are not curious, you will not lead. So curiosity is very important. Leading others. Communication, mentoring, conflict management. Leading organization, system thinking. So one workshop I would like to take on this system thinking. It's a very creative tool and very effective tool also. So diagnosis, innovation, and leading society means foresighting. I must see what is happening ahead. Then only I can lead society. critical thinking, and cross-border collaborating. So cross-border collaborating means you have to mix with diversified people. If you will not mix with diversified people, you cannot lead society. So see, networking is very important. One another aspect to sustain in today's era is networking also. Unless and until you don't increase your contacts and people's networks, you will not grow. You can observe any rich person, and what will be the his or her networking. You will not find a popular rich person whose contacts are very restricted. You give me examples. So there are some spiritual linkings are also there, aspects are also there. If you are growing your network, means you are becoming rich and you are growing, and then only you will be able to lead society. Here, if I am telling you that you join the WhatsApp group, 110 people have registered. When I am giving link of WhatsApp group and the link of session, how many are able to join WhatsApp group? Only 35 out of 110. And how many are attending workshop? I am observing since last 2 months. So if this is the attitude, then don't register. No. If you are registering, means you are not planning. So your planning is weak. So if you are registering and not attending, means planning is weak. So now you just, I will just, are you getting that whether chat box is having link? All of you? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. So open that workbook, and there I have mentioned these skills. Suppose agency. So you have to assess yourself. How much agency you are having yourself, good or whatever remarks are there, you just start putting. So what is agency? Agency is in simple, just whether I have capacity to do that work. I told you with the goal setting. If I am not able to sit 1 hour in the workshop to do goal setting or think on action planning, then I don't have agency. So if I want to lead myself, I must have agency. I must be free to take my action. First, agency means I am able to take my actions freely. Suppose I am sitting here in the attending workshop, and my husband or my family or my children are asking me to do that, and if I will continue with the workshop, they will scold. So I will just leave up and I will start preparing. I will just serve them. You don't have agency then. You don't have authority to work as you are so expected to do. So freewheeling of yourself is not there. So you don't have agency. So you cannot lead yourself. But if I will sit here to attend workshop, whatever my family, husband's parents, or in the college, they will ask, I will say, no, I am attending workshop. I will not do whatever work you are asking. I will do later on, tomorrow, Monday, like that. Then I can say that I have agency, and then only I can lead myself. Understand this. So if you have the capacity, condition also, state of acting or exerting power, providing a particular service on behalf of another business person group, means I am telling here it is myself. But if you are considering for organization, then you have to consider for that action or that service or that person or that group for what you want to do. Because leadership, I told you, personal and professional leadership is also there. So agency is very important skill. Humility, whether I have humility, whether I am humble. If I am humble, then only I can lead myself. So freedom from pride and arrogance. So we have to have freedom from pride and arrogance. And then we can say that I can lead myself. I have humility. I am humble to consider others' opinion also, others' perception also. Then the quality means you can say the condition of being humble, modest opinions, of estimating of one's importance and rank. Assess yourself. So this is first assignment, learning by doing assignment. Assignment should be completed to give you the certificate. So complete this assignment, means it is simultaneously while attending workshop. Then lunch break you can also use it. So first assignment is very simple. So last workshop will require this assignment. So what are your goal statements? 5 goal statements at least you have to prepare, and then action plan. So learning by doing assignment number 1, open the workbook, grade your own skills, decide your goals for your skill improvement. Goal means just you note down what you will do after this workshop. Assess your means just grade your own skills in the this workbook. Okay, and the best meaningful assignment. Best means not the exhaustive work. I just want a very simple like goal setting. I will tell you in my goal setting workshop, many had just taken same examples whatever I showed them from my PPT, and there were very nice mind maps of the goal setting. But I have not given appreciation certificate to very glorious mind map. I just selected a very simple that sir had just written two goal statements, but I found that really he had written as per his need. So here I am interested. Best assignment means meaningful assignment. Meaningful means for your own perception, where you are weak, where you want to change, where you want to improve. So that goal setting statements might be less, might be very simple, like I have to just simple. I will tell you that cleaning of my table. I had to keep my table clean. It might be good. So that is not important. Important thing is where you want to change for you. So then we will see who will be the winner of this appreciation certificate. Okay. So again, I am explaining all these characteristics. Leading self. Leading self requires agency. It is the freedom to choose your own action. Do you have agency? If you have agency, you will complete this workshop very satisfactorily. Ask yourself in that way. Whether you have curiosity, the desire to learn or know something, curiosity. So you are coming in this workshop means you are curious. What is happening? What is the requirement? So curious. Might be your intention might be different. Suppose somebody is coming here only for the sake how I am conducting workshop. You are curious, so definitely you will lead yourself. May not be your interest is in the leadership, but your interest might be in the how I am conducting workshop. Or like yesterday I will tell you one Singapore person called me and he just asked me why you are conducting free workshop, what is your objective. Then I told you object is for me only. And then just he came to know miss how it will lead and what will happen. So curiosity, unless and until we don't ask people, then we will not know, we will not able to follow. Now here I want to tell you, we should not just have the curiosity and follow all the persons only for the sake of competition. If some person is doing that, I will ask him why you are doing. Suppose that I will follow him. No, it should more not be in competition form, it should be in contribution form. If our intention change from competition to the contribution, then our life becomes celebration. So that also I would like to tell here. So whatever you are thinking here, don't make a plan for competition. Make a plan for your own contribution. How I can contribute well in my group, how I will contribute in my family. You can take a leadership in your family, then organization or in the society, and then plan. Don't plan for the competition. If you plan for the competition to be top one and this and that, never things will happen in that direction, because your intention is very weak intention. So that way you just plan for contribution. Then only you will celebrate this. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Hello? Please mute yourself. Then humility, having a modest opinions of one's own importance. That already I told you. So focus on the below questions. Evaluate yourself. Very simple evaluation. This is very simple evaluation. And this workbook is very important thing. Simple way you will assess yourself, and in afternoon you will come to the conclusion very technically, significantly. And you can just see your own assessment was wrong or correct also. That way also it is fantastic, and fun is also there. What you had assessed and what is coming out. Okay. So evaluate self. Where does I stand? Whether I lead others? Does I have those quality skills? How I can adopt that? So leading others is requiring communication. I told you it should be effective interchange of ideas, information, and feelings also. I am telling you my feelings also. So it is very important, not only information, but feelings also. Conflict management, because if I am not able to solve the conflict, how I can lead others? So identify and handling conflict sensibly, fairly, and efficiently, because I want to lead others. Suppose I am interested to make yourself to be a popular or just have the societal or a social contribution. That is what my leadership objective is there. I want to lead you in the social contribution, and I am not able to solve the conflicts. Then what is my purpose will not solve. So identifying and handling conflicts sensibly, fairly, efficiently is very important. Mentoring is the highest skill required to lead others. So mentoring means influencing. I am influencing. See, miss, I have confidence. If I am telling you, you will follow that. So if I am telling you mentoring is very important tool, you will start doing mentoring. If you are not doing, you can ask whether you are doing mentoring, then you are able to lead others. So mentoring means influencing, guiding, giving direction as someone who experience in that situation or field. You imagine your boss, you imagine your authority. Hmm? You do that. Reverse way also you can do. You take any boss in front of you and just ask whether he or she mentor you. Then what is your feelings? What is your opinion? And whether that boss or whether that authority you will call as a leader, you will just simply say boss. You will not call it as a leader. So leader has to give guidance to the team. Focus on this. And if you are not thinking that I have to mentor my team, if you are leader, then there is no use of just doing the actions. You have to be give example yourself first. Whatever you are telling, you have to do first that. You have to provide guidance how to do that. That way, it is very important. Leading others. Now, leading organization diagnosis is very important. Digging deeply to identify a problem through examination. Innovation, bringing about a new and more improved way of doing things. System thinking, a holistic approach to analyze that focuses on the way that the system's parts are interested. This is very, very important. And in my USA leadership workshop, I will tell you, they took interview. My interview was at least 1.5 hour was going, and they just asked me about my institute. What do you think? What do you think about your leader and how you will change? And I think that already I used to do all these things, diagnosis and innovation, what is happening wrong, how it can be improved. And then my interview was very fantastic. I told them how it can be done, what are the problems, what are the challenges, and what I think that this can be done to solve that. So system thinking, innovation, diagnosis, if you want to lead organization, is very important. And that's why I think all due to this my interview explanation to them, they thought actually I am a leader and I can jump to the leading society, from organization to the society. And I was selected, and I was knowing after my interview that definitely I'll be selected. I was selected from how 1000 peoples, only 35 persons from 16 countries were selected. So I was one of that 16 countries. 35, not 35 also, I think 25 to 28 peoples. So that way it's very important, all these qualities. And leading society, cross border collaboration. So what I am telling you, international networking, because that is my objective. So cross border collaboration, I just attended all FDPs from the cross border, means fashion designing, then MBA college, what is happening, MBA college, perception, design, critical thinking. When I attended that FDP, I started feeling myself as a inferior complex. How management faculties are doing, how fashion designing faculties are doing, and how the speakers were also from that background. And then I'm not attending local FDPs. I will tell you, I just from beginning itself, I am less focusing on the local levels. So that is cross-border collaboration is very important, working jointly with others who come from different cultural, personal and professional backgrounds. And as I have understood value of this, my objective of Vihangam Techno-Holistic is to form the network of like-minded people. That's why I'm forming groups. And one miss, if you are interested, you can join that group. So we will work together in organizing such a workshops and just coordination and all this. So that is also intention, because networking is very important. Critical thinking, evaluating, analyzing an issue using objective point of view in order to form a judgment. Critical thinking is very, very important. This is the topmost skill in education also, and employment skills. Foresighting, you have to see what is happening and you have to change it. Foresighting is very important. So the ability to think about multiple possible futures and plan your actions based on present knowledge. So what is our present, what is future, we have to see that. So what are the qualities of leader? If you want to become a popular leader, good leader, you must be forward looking. You must see what is happening 5 years to myself, 10 years at the end of life, what I will be. So forward looking, and this forgetting past and going marching towards future. Competent, I must be competent. If I want to be a good leader, I must be honest to myself first and then others. Empowering people, this is very important characteristic of leader. Somebody thinks if we empower people, then some problems will be there. Every skill has its own pros and cons, that we also discuss. Inspiring people, setting example. If I'm telling you something and I don't have an example of myself, there is no use. Then lead change. Leading change is very important. We must, like I told you, I just told in my interview what change is required and how it is possible. So shared vision is very important. So good leader has to be that. Integrity, clear goals, good example, vision, clear. See how goal setting and vision planning is very important. Then expects the best. Always we have to expect the best. We should not just think difficulties and these. Support, we have to be ready to give the support. We have to encourage. We have to give recognition. It is very important. Otherwise, work will be done, success will be done, and then we'll see, I did like that, therefore success was there. No, recognition of the people's work has to be there. Stimulation to the work is also there. Focus on the team's interest and needs also important. Otherwise, I will just want to do myself. No, focus on the team's interest also, and we have to inspire to the people's also. So these are the leadership quality. One important quality here I am mentioning very brief, emotional intelligence. And one very deep workshop I would like to tell this emotional intelligence, because this is also the highest quality. But in today's I have not included that, because I want to take separate workshop on building emotional intelligence. So if we are having our own emotional intelligence, then our actions outcomes become very strong, because emotional brains reward and threats are also there. If we will focus on rewards, then outcome increases, and it affects, means emotional affects decisions, decisions affects behavior, and behavior affects performance. So if you see performance outcome is means directly, we can say that emotions are very important. So this reward threat, we have to see. Thinking brain also we have to consider. So what I can take decisions, and behaviors are important. So again, here qualities of leadership: knowledge, honesty, willpower should be very strong, courage should be strong, selfless should be strong, visionary outlook, consistency is very important. So you ask questions to all this, you can pick up where you want to improve. So I have just taken different figures. Okay, so now let us start with types of leadership, and then just now have the knowledge of the types of leadership. And assessment will be in afternoon sessions. We will assess your own leadership styles. Okay, so because if you want to become leader, your leadership style is very important. Before that, types of leadership, I am calling it as a types: crisis leadership, adaptive leadership, invitational leadership, emotion. Separate workshops will be on this. Crisis leadership, we suppose take an example that we are going to picnic and you want to become a leader to arrange that picnic, and then we are going, you take simple little examples for your evaluation. So you want to become a leader of arranging that people's the picnic. So crisis will come. Suppose we are going and that booking is done, but that fellow is not there, or we are not getting the this lodge, and this some crisis has come, or accident has been there. So in that crisis leadership, as a leader, what you will do? Or if you are a not leader, at that time crisis will call you as a leader, whether you will go ahead to tackle all these problems and how you will do that. So that is crisis leadership. One has to know in the crisis how I can excel as a leader. Adaptive leadership means time to time leadership demands are changing, and everybody is having different leadership skills. So I have to jump from autocratic to democratic leadership. So adaptiveness has to be there. So that is adaptive leadership. Then invitational leadership. Somebody is inviting me. I know you come and you just be on this as a leader. So invitational, or some circumstances will invite us. And emotionally intelligent means we have to consider emotions of others. We have to consider how people will grow, and we have to become a leader to have the care of all other peoples. And in such a emotional situations also we will come ahead that way. Means understanding people's emotions. So let us start with leadership styles. So leadership styles now we will assess in afternoon session, and here I would like to give brief introduction. So leadership styles means how a leader guides a team through different stages. Means if I am a leader, if I want to be leader, how I will make actions with my team, how I will tell other peoples to uh, do the work. So these styles dictate how a leader implement plans, provide guidance, and overlooks work. So based on different personalities and methods, there are many different styles. But mind you, the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. Greatest leader is not who do the greatest things. Always important, note this important statement of Ronald. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. So here the heart of leadership statement is there by Ronald Reagan. So greatest leader is not who do greatest thing. The greatest leader is that who make peoples to do the greatest things. So that is a great leader. So these are 10 leadership styles. Now different leadership styles will be also there according to different perception. But this I have taken just for example, which I like. Coaching, I told you my leadership was majority coaching and visionary also. So now see, for assessing yourself, you have all these skills. You have all these skills, but you have to assess which skill is predominant. So if you are just focusing, means your majority skills are coaching, then your leadership is coaching style. If you are not a leader, but if you want to lead, you have to think how I will work, how I will do, and then you have to find out your style. Okay. So everybody has all the or majority styles, but we have to assess which is significant. Suppose, for example, after explanation, I will come to know I will be having Miss coaching leadership. Means what I think is the best, it is not, mind you. I have to assess myself where I will think what is the best. No, I have to think what is possible for me according to my feelings, according to my beliefs, according to my attitude. What I can do, I will do, I will able to do. That way you have to assess, because you will just think, oh, it is best. Madam told, so my leadership style, I want to be coaching leader. No, that way you don't assess now. You assess now what is your behavior, and that way you assess which is your majority. And then for action planning, you have to think I have to have this weak skills, and I have to improve that. So that way, coaching leadership: visionary, servant, autocratic, laissez-faire, democratic, peace setter, transformational, and transactional, and bureaucratic. Okay, so let us see one by one. Now here assignment number 2 has started. Now in this you just give some marks out of 5. Okay, out of 5 you just give marks for every leadership style, and in afternoon you will check your own leadership styles. Okay, so that is just validity what you are doing in this session. It will be done technically in the next session. Okay, so open the links again, open the workbook, and you just write down type of leadership style there, and just give 5 marks out of there. So decide your goals for your skills. That will help you to make the goals. Okay. So assignment number 2. Now see, autocratic means what? Do what I will tell you. Autocratic. I am telling you, you do that. So that is autocratic. Simple, I am just explaining. Then bureaucratic, follow the rules. Try to understand meaning, and then we'll see pros and cons. So autocratic means do what I will tell you. I told you, you do that. Suppose picnic, we are taking examples. I told you, you arrange the picnic. I do that. Finished, nothing else. Then bureaucratic, follow the rules. I will set the rules, you follow the rules and arrange the picnic. You take here example. You take example as a picnic. You take an example of giving lectures. Suppose you want to become a leader. Suppose I'm doing taking lectures, speaker. If you want to be a speaker and lead the peoples, you take that example, or whatever is your interest, your wish, you take that example and apply how you will lead that action, how you will lead that work, like that. So you can just take example and then assess yourself. I am giving you with the picnic. Okay, so bureaucratic means I will suppose give you rules and leader has to follow the rules. No, we have to start at 8 o'clock. We have to reach at 6 o'clock. We will book that hotel. We will do this rules, and then leader will follow that rule. Or suppose I am a leader and I'm giving rules. So bureaucratic. Then charismatic, come with me, come with me, we'll do that. So charismatic. Coaching, so if I am a leader, I will say try this, you can just try this method, you can try this destination, you can try this way, like that. Then democratic, what is your opinion? First, I am asking the peoples. 10 peoples are interested in the picnic. I am asking, oh, where will go? How will go? When you will go? Democratic style. What is your opinion? Okay, then less is fair. Whatever you think is the best. I will not do anything. Just I will take my hands off. Okay, you arrange picnic. Let it be any leader. Whatever you do it, that less is fair. Imagine your boss also here. That will also help you to assess your boss personality or leadership styles. This is leadership styles. Afternoon we'll see personality. Then servant, how I can help you? Servant, if I am a servant leader, or my leadership style is a servant, I will tell you how I can help you. Tell me whether you want this work from me. Can I do that? See, all types of leadership are required in certain circumstances. You cannot say this is the best and this is the bad. Yes, it is there. Almost all situations we can find out which is the best, but every leadership style will require in certain situation. That is what I told you, the adaptive leadership. If I have an adaptive leadership, then I will switch myself from autocratic to democratic to transformation, situational based. So that ability has to be there. Therefore, I will take separate workshop on adaptive leadership. Okay. So servant, how can I help you? This has to be there in certain situations. Means as a leader, we have to have these roles. Here, some I told you that some are major requirements, some are less requirements. That way we have to understand. Then transactional works on your goal. Transactional means suppose transaction is there, payment, transactions are there. I'm giving you, you give that. I told just transactional leadership certificate. You give me best assignments, I will give certificate. So that is a transaction. So working on my goals, because my goal is that improving yourself. My goal is not arranging workshop and just show somewhere that I am taking this. My goal is the change. So I am giving you transaction. You give me that, I will give this. So work on your goals. Okay. Transaction works on our goals. Focus here. And len then we can say that len then hai, lena hai, then hai. Transformational. Leave your comfort zone. Transformational means, see, as I leader myself, I will just focus where change is required, how that change can happen, like I told you in interview. So transformational is the need of the time today, because we are transforming from an old area to the a new area. So leave your comfort zone. Always I tell my colleagues, leave your comfort zone. See what is happening tomorrow. Our teaching job is will be 20%. Actual what we are taking and teaching, it will remain 20% only. Other skills we have to develop, other knowledge educations we have to there. So transformational leadership, visionary leadership. Let us change the world. So this is visionary. Let us change the world. So come here, we will change the world. So like that. Okay. Now see, autocratic leadership defined by top-down approach. Autocratic, top-down. Leader will tell everything. And when it comes all decision-making, procedure, policies within an organization, autocratic leader focuses less on collecting input. I will not ask you, picnic is to arrange. I will not ask you, I will arrange myself. I told you the example. And we'll go there. So pros, it can be efficient, especially when it comes to decision making, keeps team cohesive and consistent since one person is taking charge. I am taking charge of picnic. Picnic is going to be very good. If I am a good leader, that way, it will be efficient. May make everyone's individual roles clear. I will give direction. You do that. You do that. Do that. So clear directions on the road. Pros. But what are cons of autocratic leadership? You evaluate yourself. Oh, this is important work. See, understanding here is not important. Here in this workshop, focusing, assessing yourself is important. You can just try to see what is autocratic leadership. So even one sentence you understood, you can assess yourself. So recommended rating, you forget this while assessing. You see what is your style or what you can do. So cons can be stifle creativity, collaboration, and innovation. Because my skills are less and I am taking you to the picnic. I am not creative. I am not innovative. So I will just go to Lonavala or here, local destination. Because I had to arrange picnic, I will not have creations, innovations. So that way can stifle. But if I will take opinion from others, that can happen. So doesn't lead to diversity in thought. So diversity is very important. I'm thinking my own way, picnic my own way, may lead to disengaged individuals and teams who feel like they don't have a voice. So you will think madam has not taken choice and she is planning Lonara and by bus only we have to go by car. So that way feelings in the team members will be there. So doesn't allow any room for mentorship or professional growth. So here, if I'm not allowing you, how you will develop it? So recommendation rating for this autocratic leadership is 1 out of 5, least likely to recommend. It doesn't mean that you will give 1 marks. You think, where are you? Are you doing any work? And it is not, you can just consider family leadership. Okay. Suppose you are going to the picnic, how you are acting in the family. Everything according to your own. Here, ladies will think differently, gents will think differently. Assess yourself. So you will come to know what type of leader you are, autocratic or bureaucratic, like that. So how you take your family to the picnic, huh? You are becoming leader whether you are taking choice. That way also you can take example while assessing you. Okay. At least assess yourself and then goal setting, it will help you. Your assessment will help you in goal setting. Now transactional leadership, I told you example, transaction certificate. So it is defined by control, organization, and short-term planning. Leaders who adopt this style rely on a system of rewards. See, system of rewards and punishment to motivate their followers. So I told you, if you will assignment will be not there, I am not going to give you certificate, punishment. So yeah, I use this transactional leadership because I want to fulfill my goal. That is important to me. So as you can see, there are many similarities between transactional leadership and autocratic leadership. The main difference is transactional leadership, as the name implies, involves clear exchange between leader and the team members. For instance, in exchange of compliance and high performance, an employee might be rewarded. Here, reward is there, signals are there, what you have to do, what you will. But in autocratic, that is not there. Pros are can be efficient way to reach short-term goals, clearly defines expected behavior from team members due to system of reward. And I told you what is behavior is expected. So this is my benefit. Provide structure and stability. Okay. Then what are the cons of this? So here leadership styles are like this: reward performance. Here is their transactional leadership. Short term, it is short term, practical, support structure, less flexible, external motivation. Cons are its limits creativity, growth, and initiative, because I am not involving you in the process. I am just focusing on the transaction. Whether I ask you, will you do assignment or no, I know what will be there. So I had not involved you. Okay. May not be impactful on people who aren't driven by extrinsic motivation. So it has to be your inner motivation. I am telling you my certificate, but it's not your miss. You are not driving by external. No use. Can be discouraging for those who are looking for professional and person. If you are attending this workshop to show your certificate, then it will be discouraged to you. Oh, madam is not giving certificate. Forget afternoon session. No, last session. No, discouragement will be there. But I am not interested in the just encouraging you for the certificate. That is not my intention. So here people will be discouraged due to this, because they who are looking for professional personal. Actually, this is for personal development only. Recommendation is 2 out of 5. You give marks to yourself. Okay. Now, bureaucratic leadership. Words only implies you. Command, strict regulations, and compliance by its followers. Strictness will be there. Bureaucratic. So it is used in government entities, military, and public. And it has to be there. Here in the military, if you will use another leadership, then anything can happen. So for organization of certain time, it has to be bureaucratic. Pros are stable in terms of job security and outcomes, then removes favorism from the equation, very clear roles, responsibilities, expectation, highly visible set of process and regulation, because here it will be government entities, military and public organization. So cons are it is inefficient since everything has to go through a chain of command. Chain of command means process is there, who will order, who will follow. So chain of command is there, doesn't encourage individual, personal, professional. Because I always used to say, when in my college day, I used to say I will never do government job, because I used to think in government job means no creativity. I'm sorry if some persons are for government, but it was my thinking, because creativity is less used. So encouragement is less, stifles creativity, innovation, free thinking. Then doesn't foster collaboration or relationship between within terms, and it make it difficult to respond to change. So recommendation rating is 2 out of 5. Now charismatic leadership. So communication is very attractive, persuasiveness is very good, charm to influence others. Charismatic leaders give their ability to connect with people on a deep level, and especially valuable within organizations that are facing a crisis or struggling to move forward. So charismatic means suppose some struggle is there or some crisis is there, somebody will lead that and will have charisma on all other people. So that is charismatic. So it's highly inspirational and motivational. Encourages sense of companionship, collaboration, union, makes followers feel heard and understood, creates movement towards positive change. But what are cons? It becomes more focused on themselves than people, has the potential to become charismatic means I want to have influence. So it is more focused on myself than people's, has the potential to become self-serving, frequently viewed as shallow or untruthful, because whatever I want to have the charisma or this, it may be untruthful to the others. So recommendation rating is 3 out of 5. Might recommend. Transformational leadership, everything change, vision, focus is on the change, how that can happen, changing the system, changing the process. Pros are motivation for teams, conductive, strong relationship, encouraging collaboration, gives team members autonomy to do their jobs, can lead more creativity, growth, empathy on the teams. Cons are may not be best fit for specific organization, bureaucratic. So this transformational will not be fit there. Can cause feelings of instability while disrupting status quo. Lots of pressure on the leader who needs to lead by example. So if I want to become a transformational leader, means changing, focusing, system, this lot of focus will be on me, because as change is there, whether outcome will be good or no. So frustrations. So recommended rating is 5 out of 5. So this is most likely to recommend transfer, at least in the today's. I'm just assessing in the today's transformational area. This is very important. So coaching leadership, coaching leaders are focused on bringing out the best in their teams by guiding them through the goals and obstacles, encourage two-way communication and collaboration, involves lot of constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is very important from the people, facilitates the personal professional development, focuses on being supportive, not judgmental, creates opportunities for growth and creative thinking. So cons are resource intensive because resources has to be given there by a coacher. By a coaching leader doesn't always lead to the fastest, most efficient results. Because now coaching means involving people's collaboration, so it will take time. May not be ideal choice for high pressure or strictly reason driven companies. So its rating is 5 out of 5. Now, democratic leadership, it is participative. Democratic means participative leadership. I will involve others. Collaborations will be there. Others' opinions, encourage collaborations, variety of opinions, leads to higher group engagement, productivity. Outcome is supported by the majority. But cons are opinions are dominated, because if I will involve all other peoples in picnic, we may not come to the conclusion where we will take a picnic. That is also disadvantage of this if I will ask people's opinion. So involvement of multiple people can lead to more communication gaps, confusion. So this happens if we start taking conclusion opinion of others, take a longer time to come to conclusion. So if you take example of picnic, you can understand that. But sometimes we are interested to take opinions. So unskilled, untrained group, if other peoples will not give good suggestions to me, my decision making may be wrong. So we will go picnic somewhere else by listening other people's, it may not be good, joyful else. So recommendation is 4 out of 5, because taking opinions and having team building skills is there. So collaborative leadership means encouraging peoples to work together across functional and organizational boundaries. It can lead more creative, innovative ways of thinking, more opportunities for diversity, strengthen cross-team relationship, builds trust within an organization. So we will just cross country, other organization, other peoples we will also involve. So cons lead to ambiguity in roles and responsibilities. It happens because collaboration will take a time to define roles and responsibility. Every person's can create cross team conflict. Suppose other organization team I am involving for my growth as a leader, then conflict may take place. Suppose for picnic I am just taking some other persons, that may take conflict. Potential power struggle between leaders, it happens. You might have observed, if new people joins the institute, then lot of conflict happens, because collaborative leader just think to involve collaborations or other organizational persons, then ego comes, conflict happens. Recommendation is 4 out of 5. Servant leadership puts the needs of well-being and first approach for the growth. Pros are focus on the development and growth of others, can lead to improved performance, reduces turnover, and increases trust with leaders. But cons are focuses on the development and growth of others, because servant, I will just serve you, means I will focus on your growth. So it will be development of you, can lead to improved performance, innovation, collaborations, creates. This is actually the not con. This is actually pros. Creates a safe environment where people aren't afraid to fail, reduces turnover and disengagement, increases trust with leaders. So laissez-faire leadership means hands off. I told you, I will not do. You just take a picnic anywhere. Empowers individuals to practice their leadership skills. So this is opportunity. Just I put to you only where to go, how to go. Can lead increased creations and innovations will be there. less fear of failure, encourage trust between team members and leader. So I am trusting you. So you are planning trip or picnic. But cons are it can result in low productivity, conflict among team members. That will happen because I have just taken my hands off. So there is jealousy, conflict will there, and it may lead to confusion about roles and responsibilities, won't be effective also. So recommendation is 3 out of 5. Okay. So here we have completed about the workshop 12:30. Now you can take a break. Attendance, you just fill up attendance. I will post attendance link. Fill up your attendance and then take a break. Okay. And in the break, please try to complete your workbook. You got it?